Next on the Bavaria Update, the race for Berchtesgaden. Why this Alpine village was so important to Germans, what secrets did it hold, and who would get there first. You'll meet the soldiers that broke the door down to Hitler's mountain getaway.
He was going to have special troops here to protect him.
Welcome to this special edition of the Bavaria Update. I'm Tony McKinney.
And I'm Sergeant Kenya Kraus. Today we're standing in Berchtesgaden, Germany. And while you may not be a World War II buff, we're sure you'll be fascinated by the people you'll meet.
Yeah, absolutely, Kenya. These are among the first Allied soldiers to set foot into Hitler's living room, literally, because this area was his personal sanctuary. Her name was Eva Braun. After years of being Adolf Hitler's mistress, she married him just hours before they both committed suicide in the waning days of World War II. Many of her happier days were spent here, at Hitler's Berghof, his mountain retreat. These images were recorded by Eva Braun's movie camera at the Berghof. It's located in this very spot, overlooking Berchtesgaden, Germany. There's not much left of the home where many of the darkest moments in history were planned. In its time, it was a massive structure, but it started as a humble mountain home called Haus Wachenfeld. Later, after Hitler came to power, it was reconstructed, more in keeping with a head of state. Hitler hosted some of the day's most powerful leaders here, including the Italian dictator Mussolini and the Prime Minister of Great Britain. Other Nazi Party leaders built homes here, including Hermann Göring, Rudolf Hess, and Martin Bormann. The Obersalzberg became home for the highest members of the Nazi Party. Hitler often retreated to the Berghof for rest and relaxation, and his mistress Eva Braun was always waiting for him. While he was at the Berghof, Hitler took daily walks to his tea house. Nearby was one of his favorite views. Here, Eva Braun enjoys it. This is the same view today. The tea house has been reduced to rubble, erased from the landscape, but the view is still spectacular. There are exceptions. Some of the buildings are still here, like the Hotel Zum Türken, which you can see in this photograph taken after it was seized by the Nazis. Not much has changed of the Hotel Zum Türken since it was used to house Hitler's personal bodyguards. Interestingly enough, underneath the hotel are the remains of an air raid shelter, which was built underneath much of this area. They were designed for refuge during a bomb attack and as a fortified command post. The entrance to the tunnel under Hitler's Berghof was somewhere in this area, but Hitler and Eva never used it. They died in a bunker far from here, in Berlin, as the Allies closed in. Looking out at the present-day view of this stunning Alpine landscape from where the Berghof was located, it's not hard to imagine that this may have been the image Eva Braun took to her death. And now you're going to meet some amazing people. They were among the first Allied troops to set foot in an area that Hitler called home.
It wasn't supposed to be. The 3rd Infantry Division's mission, May of 1945, was to secure the Austrian city of Salzburg. Now this after many months of fighting through France and Germany. The 3rd Infantry Division lost more soldiers than any other division in the war. They faced a tough fight almost everywhere they went. But when they got to Salzburg
was taken already and there wasn't going to be any fight there. So they kind of altered the plans, and the next thing we know, we switched over to come over to Berchtesgaden.
General Dwight D. Eisenhower wanted the 101st Airborne Division and the French to take Hitler's mountain getaway. But on a quest for glory, the 3rd ID's commander, Major General John Iron Mike O'Daniel, had another idea.
You know, colonels and generals, they want to be first. And we got here a little first. We wanted to put on a ceremony. And that's why he wanted to do this, to show that we were first, see?
Whatever the reason, the 3rd Infantry Division was on its way into Berchtesgaden. John Miller remembers the ride in.
I was riding on this heavy tank on the right side in the front. So if I fell off, I was going to go under the tread.
On May 5, 1945, soldiers of the 3rd Infantry Division raised an American flag on a hilltop overlooking Berchtesgaden. Contrary to what was depicted in the series Band of Brothers, the 3rd ID were the first to reach the area. That flag raising was reenacted close to the original location by 3 veterans of the 3rd ID. And even though he understands the importance of the event now, at the time,
it was no big deal. You know, I'm 19-year-old, who cares about this place? There's nobody shooting at me. I'm happy. So they wanted us to come up and have a little ceremony. Okay, we come up and have a ceremony, we go back. Big deal, we didn't care.
a plaque now marks the area where the first American flag was raised over the sanctuary of the man responsible for World War II.
Wow, what an amazing story, Kenya. And it's a story that even though it has a prominent place in the history of World War II, these veterans tell it with such humility.
Tony, they are true American heroes and you'd never know it. So we leave you from Berchtesgaden, Germany. Have a great night and thanks for watching.
I see the 3rd Division patch on a soldier or even on television. I always tell my wife, there's the 3rd Division. I never forget that. So I live to be 100 years old. Of course, I suppose every soldier is proud of his unit. That's the right way to feel.